Good afternoon. I am First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin here with a check of the First Alert forecast, and nice weather to be enjoyed today, this afternoon, on into early this evening. Temperatures peaking in the mid-80s, and then we're going to cool it on down. So again, it has been a warm up, certainly a warming trend over the past 48 hours or so, and that's going to continue, really culminating today, and then big changes in the First Alert forecast. Much chillier weather does make a comeback. Really within the next 24 hours, we're going to start to see and to feel these differences. So again, thank you for tuning in and for watching. Want to remind you, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, you can always reach out on YouTube. That's one place that we are streaming right now. You can also text us 470-777 WANF. That's 470-777 excuse me, 9263. And I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. Follow me on social media as well, and be happy to answer any weather questions, comments, concerns that you may have. Again, live outside. It is absolutely stunning. Warmer temperatures this afternoon. Warmer than it was 24 hours ago, no doubt about that, with temperatures peaking in the mid-80s, 84 your current temperature at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. That's 5 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. So case in point, warmer weather is here, just not going to stay here for all that long. We have much cooler conditions arriving really in maybe the next 12 to 18 hours. By this time Monday, you're going to start to feel a little bit of a difference, but really it's Tuesday, our first alert weather day, that it's going to be much chillier, kind of a shock to the system, and you will want to rearrange that wardrobe, especially for the students, that aren't going to be out on fall break like Atlanta Public Schools will be this coming week. If your kiddos are going to school next week, we're going to be changing up the wardrobes, maybe the first time they have their heavier jacket or their coat out this season. And again, just kind of going through the forecast, giving you the lay of the land this evening. Temperatures continue to kind of peak here over the next hour to hour and a half. And then we will cool back into the 70s after sunset, 8 to 9 p.m. Temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s. As an average across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, 69 at midnight, 3 a.m., 67. And it's going to be a little milder than it was yesterday evening. Yesterday after sunset, got chilly very quick. Jacket weather, I would say, even in the city. Not quite that cool this evening, but certainly cooler than it has been this afternoon. Temperatures cooling from the 70s back into the 60s. And that's for Atlanta. If you live outside of I-285, far north Metro in particular, on up into the mountains, it will be just a little bit cooler than that at a quicker rate. So you may still want the light jacket in those areas. Low temperatures tomorrow morning, again, warmer than it was this morning. Mountains included in that, 54 in LJ, 59 Helen, 64 in Atlanta. Keep in mind our average low temperature, so the coolest temperature of the day, that is the low between, midnight tomorrow morning and 11:59 tomorrow night. And we're looking at a low temperature of 64 in Atlanta, 64 Eatonton, 62 Thomaston. 50s really reserved for the North Metro on up into the mountains. So Rome, LJ, Helen, Canton in the mid to upper 50s, maybe a jacket up there. But in the city of Atlanta, I'd say, pretty pleasant start. Wouldn't even call it all that cool in the city tomorrow morning. Hour by hour, here's where the difference comes in, though. We're not going to warm up as much tomorrow. Not a huge range between morning out the door temperature and afternoon temperature. You normally, on any given day, we could warm 20 degrees between out the door morning commute temperature and afternoon peak temperature, warmest temperature. But more of a 10-degree or so range tomorrow, with temperatures in the mid-60s through 9 a.m., warming up into the upper 60s, lower 70s by noon. So gorgeous lunch hour tomorrow. There will be a breeze, lots of sunshine, low humidity again. Not bad. 69 by 6 o'clock in the evening, so it will be cooling off much more quickly this time tomorrow, heading into sunset and during tomorrow evening than what we're having, today. So tomorrow technically cooler despite a warmer start, and you will really feel this up in the mountains. Look at this range in temperatures tomorrow. Your high temperature in LJ, 64. High temperature in Helen, 68. High temperature in Canton, 67. High temperature in Atlanta, here's that jump, 75. And look down in Thomaston, Upson County, upper 70s. Putnam County, upper 70s. So a pretty big range in temperature from the far north metro, the mountain areas, and then the city of Atlanta, a jump up and then an even greater jump up further to the south. And that's because cooler air is arriving, during the daytime. And it's originating, this cooler air, from areas, north of us, and that cooler air will start to move in as we get into our Monday afternoon, and that's why northern areas are cooler, cooler moving in, cooler air moving in from the north, and that is where the coolest condition will be. The further south you are, you're going to be ahead of that front for longer, ahead of that cooler air mass for longer, thus you're going to warm up a little bit more with high temperatures back in the upper 70s as we get into the afternoon hours. This kind of peak temperature occurring 3:30, 3:45 or so in the afternoon. And then here comes the chillier weather. First alert weather day Tuesday. As we get into our Tuesday morning, we're looking at temperatures out the door in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Further to the north, probably low to mid 40s solidly Tuesday morning, North Metro on up into the mountains. And the thing about Tuesday is there will be a breeze through the day. We're probably going to walk out the door, go through the morning commute, taking your kiddos to school or waiting at the bus stop with them in the upper 40s, lower 50s in the city, cooler north, and that breeze will make it feel chillier. So already kind of a switch up in how to dress, how to prep for the day as we get into Tuesday, hence the first alert weather day. We're just labeling that day, letting you know a big temperature change on the way. Don't want it to catch you off guard because it'll get pretty chilly, especially Tuesday evening after staying in the 60s. That's even in Atlanta. Temperatures will cool back into the 50s in the evening and 40s out the door Wednesday morning. That's in the city. Upper 30s, lower 40s as we get into the far north metro, the mountain communities. That's Wednesday morning. Look at Thursday morning, lower 40s. Again, that is for the city of Atlanta. It'll be cooler outside of I-285. In fact, I think there could be some patchy frost watching Thursday and Friday mornings, especially up in maybe Cherokee County, Bartow County, over to Hall County, Dawson County, Forsyth County, over to north of Clark and Oconee counties, getting up to Habersham County, Rabun County, and then up into Fannin County. So our higher elevation communities, our mountain communities, those that live north of the metro, especially, could have that patchy frost. I mean, maybe hard to see. We have to see if we even have enough moisture for frost to form, but certainly temperature-wise, could be cold enough for some patchy frost to form as we get into, I would say first morning, that's a real potential would be Thursday morning, possibly Wednesday morning, but more Thursday morning. And I think that some of our peaks, our mountain peaks, could get close to freezing. Of course, not many folks up there that will be at all impacted by this, but certainly by October standards, this is number one, the coolest we have been so far this season, coolest we have been since last April into early May. Number two, by October standards, this is cool. This is not just normal. This is actually the other end of the spectrum. We're far warmer than normal today. Temperature is close to average or normal tomorrow, and then below average Tuesday, and then I would say well below average Wednesday into Thursday, nearly 10 degrees cooler afternoon high temperatures we're talking about here than what they should be on those dates. Same in the morning times as well. Those low temperatures about 10 degrees colder than what you would expect average-wise for this time of year. But it comes with full sunshine. Again, they're going to be gorgeous days, fall days. Go to the pumpkin patch, corn maze. It's sad it's in the middle of the week that we're getting this gorgeous fall weather, middle of the work week. But if at all possible, get outside, do those fall activities, do the yard work, put out those fall decorations, put out the Halloween decorations. It will be stunning weather to do just that. We do start to warm up as we get into the weekend. 71 your high temperature Saturday, up to 76 Sunday, with temperatures really just getting back up to about average Saturday into Sunday. Still nice, still dry, lots of sun, no issues in this First Alert 7-day forecast. I want to remind you, you can get the 10-day forecast at any time on the go at LanceNewsFirst.com and in the First Alert weather app. We should have an early newscast this evening. I'm going to join Joy Linapkern, and she'll have your latest news headlines of the First Alert forecast on Atlanta News First at 6:30. No Atlanta News First Plus weather stream tonight at 8 p.m. We are re-airing today's Pride Parade and Festival on Atlanta News First Plus. That'll run through, that top of the 8 o'clock hour, typical stream time for news and weather. But we are back on tonight on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate, weather, latest news tonight starting at 10, then back on WANF Atlanta News First at 11. So again, I want to thank you for tuning in and for streaming. Get outside this afternoon. I know it's a little warm, maybe not feeling that fall-like, but still a stunner of a Sunday across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta.